Assalamu alaikum, wa rahmatullah, dear religious brothers and sisters. Today we are going to talk about Palestine, but I am not going to talk about the fact that Jerusalem is a blessed land for us, that it is the first qibla of Islam, or that it is a blessed land in other religions, because today a crime against humanity is being committed in Palestine, especially in Gaza. For this, religion, race does not matter. It is enough to be a human being, atheist, deist, infidel, or whoever else calls themselves. No matter who they are, we need to speak out today, and our humanitarian identity is enough for us to speak out while the whole world is speaking out today. We cannot remain silent. Let's empathize like this. A child born there, a baby has no crime other than being born there. I mean, we did not choose where to be born when we came to this world. We have no responsibility. But that child is being persecuted there. How can we remain silent about such a thing, or how can such an unscrupulous decision be taken and the people there be bombed? Look, in a recent video that we came across on the internet or on television, they are targeting a water tank. They are targeting children who come to drink water from the water tank. Children who come to drink water are bombed. Hospitals are bombed. Mosques are bombed. This is a crime against humanity. Do you know what this means? There are international rules of war. There are things that cannot be done even in war because humanity does not allow this. And these rules have been put in place so that a human being would not do such a thing. And these rules are being violated. It is something that is forbidden even there. Now let's take a look at where the basis of these rules of war was taken from. Saladin Ayyub, whom we know as the conqueror of Jerusalem, is actually the basis of all these rules of war. He fights against the Crusaders so bravely that he is known as a legendary emperor in the Crusader armies on the other side, His Holiness Saladin Ayyubi. Let's remember a little bit about Saladin Ayyubi first, then the Third Crusades. I will talk about the Third Crusades. When Saladin Ayyubi ruled his state, rumors circulated that he did not smile. One day in the Friday sermon, the Imam mentions this issue, no matter how high the state is. It is the sunnah of our master to be a smiling person. The Imam of that period tells this in the sermon, His Holiness. Saladin Ayyubi understands that this was told to him, and after the prayer, he goes to that Imam and says, "How can I laugh while Jerusalem is under occupation?" He is such a man of the cause, someone who devoted his whole life to conquering Jerusalem. But while he was burning inside, he never acted away from his humanity and Islam, from being a believer, from his conscience in those wars. The conquest took place. He conquered Jerusalem. Of course, the Crusader armies did not stop, and the Third Crusades were launched. Again, the Pope from Europe made publications that would mobilize all states, and the Third Crusade began. The characteristic of the Crusades is that the people come along with the army. That is, the people who will settle there after conquering it also come. That is, children and women also come there during the Crusades. And when this Crusader army came to conquer Jerusalem, while they were fighting against Saladin Ayyubi, the child of a woman who came with that Crusader army was lost. His Holiness. Saladin Ayyubi allocated a troop of with such qualities was not a Muslim but a Christian. They wrote such fantastic things that they even wrote such superstitious things about Saladin Ayyubi that he was baptized. Why? Because they wanted such a hero to be a Christian. A few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, in the movie called Kingdom of Heaven, it was already a movie where those sources were used. Saladin Ayyubi was portrayed as a very charismatic leader, even though he was the commander who conquered Jerusalem. In this case, it is time to show humanity to the whole world again. We will not commit this atrocity against unarmed people, but we will do whatever we can to make sure that those armed people are punished, God willing. Look, with the actions we have taken today, we have caused losses to the companies that support these armies, that support the State of Israel. There are statements like this. So it is now known that the brand values of these countries have been lost. They have lost serious values. So with the publications we have made, people are abandoning these well-known brands, and in a sense, We have caused them losses. Apart from that, we need to do whatever we can. We need to do whatever we can. We need to do whatever we can. At least I need to announce this. I need to announce it to someone. We need to keep it on the agenda for our martyred brothers and sisters. In fact, the test is over now. They have gone to the land where there is no difficulty. Let's try to feel the story of being a martyr a little bit. Let's take the story of one of our young Palestinian brothers who was in that hospital, or one of our young Palestinian brothers who went to that tank to drink water. The story for us is that a treacherous bomb was thrown into that water tank, and that brother gave his life there. This story is valid for us. It is a story that is valid for this world, but Allah Almighty gave him the rank of martyrdom. So when we sleep, we can feel as if we have lived for 3 months in the dream world. In the same way, if they have reached the level of martyrdom, they continue their lives feeling as if they have narrowly escaped from that bomb. Maybe they feel as if they have narrowly escaped, and they continue that struggle. But they continue a life without hardship. They continue a life that continues with heroism, even in war. They will live in such a life until the day of judgment, and the life they live until the day of judgment will be maybe 15 or 20 minutes, maybe a few hours, but they will have lived that life until the day of judgment, because it is mentioned in the verse in the Quran that says, "Do not call those who die in the way of Allah dead. They are martyrs." The truth that martyrs do not die is a truth mentioned in the Quran, so they have won the rank of martyrdom in this world. They have won a rank among the highest ranks. Their trials are over. Their lives continue in a life without pain. Now let's turn to us. The real test continues for us. Our test is the test of where I can take part in this struggle. We have to do whatever we can to conquer Jerusalem, to bring peace to this beautiful country again, to ensure that people can visit there comfortably again. At least we have to keep this agenda in mind and support the struggle for the people there, whatever we can do. For this, we need to keep this on our agenda. Jerusalem is an Islamic land. We should not forget this, and we need to fight for the end of the oppression of the people there. Our responsibility in this work is Master Bediüzzaman, said Nursu in the texts in which he addresses Muslims. He addresses Muslims as "my beloved brothers." What does it mean to be undefeated? If a person of faith surrenders his life to the bullet of the enemy, he is a martyr. He has already won. If he is a veteran where he is shot, he has already won. If he is a veteran where he is shot, he has already won. If he wins the war, he will be victorious. He will be victorious. So in all 3 possibilities, the Muslim is invincible, the Muslim is invincible. Then we are responsible for fighting to the extent of our faith. It is not written in our book to fall into despair and do nothing. The main problem here is not to keep this on the agenda and not to think about what to do about this struggle. The main problem is not to turn our heads and look elsewhere. The important thing is where I can create public opinion from this work. Who can I reach? How much sound I can make this issue. Be sure that the nation we are facing is a cowardly nation. The military is a cowardly nation, not even a nation that can only throw bombs and can come near and realize victory. But as we remain silent, they find courage. We will at least continue to make our voices heard as far as we can. Do not neglect to support this.